Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in, and good morning. Hope you guys have a great one out there. Today we've got Avalon 304 from Clan Senpai and his Strv. He is platooned with GSOR 3301 AVR yada yada from Clan. Is that Zako? Zako? Z-A-K-O. All right, Tier 9. Strv. I've had a couple videos lately where I sort of panned some new tanks a little bit. I mean, I wasn't jazzed about this. I didn't really say it was terrible. I just said it wasn't very good. So he sent me a good game of this, and I'm willing to learn. So I thought we'd take a look at the Strv. Remember, it makes credits, it makes extra experience, and it's a premium, a true premium at Tier 9 Vice, what we've had, which were reward tanks, which didn't make extra credits. I was looking for the numbers, I couldn't quite find it, but German Intelligence, one of the other CCs, did a 3-mark session with his Strv. He said he made 16 million credits. He said the thing absolutely prints credits. I've had other reports that it doesn't do so good. Obviously, with the credits thing, it's how well you do. German Intelligence is a really good player, so he had a good time. But it was only, I want to say, 130 battles or some such thing, where he was able to knock that out in 16 million credits. But today we've got Avalon 304, who I appreciate. He's a guy who knows a lot about the game, and bit of a thorn in my side, because every time I say something wrong, he's correcting me. I should ban him, actually. I really, now that I think about it, because everything I say is right. I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to go. It's my channel, man, all right? No, there's a couple of you guys that have some fantastic information. Keep it flowing, all good. Talked about this a couple times already, but I like when you have the field modifications going, you actually get to see what the guys are using equipment-wise, so very cool. In this case, very interesting, because he's running a turbo. I believe those are grousers. Usually that's a person in the back of the tank named Karen, whining about stuff, and a gun rammer. Not what I would expect, actually. And frankly, I'm not sure why the grousers. I may have to look that up. Avalon will probably see this, so please enlighten us as to the thoughts behind that particular setup, because I think it's fairly unusual. Small kits, what a cheapo in a in a fire extinguisher. All right, here we go. That's enough giving Avalon heck, because this is going to be a good game. So a one-off game in a mediocre tank doesn't make the tank amazing. However, you have to have examples, so it's always good to take a look at these kind of things and see what's going on. As a matter of fact, we've got GSOR. He's in his Tier 9 Czech heavy, so a couple new heavies right there. Very cool. So I don't know. I didn't look at his barrel at whether he has the 2-shot or the single shot. I preferred the single shot at the end, and you will have seen, I think, by the time you see this particular video, my review on the Tier 9. So that'll be kind of interesting. Maybe GSOR can fill us in if he or she sees this video. Oh, we got something on fire. Okay, there's an airplane on fire. So strengths to this tank: a decent turret. Good depression at -10. Mediocre mobility, hence the turbo that he's using it. So good players often are going to prioritize things like mobility and will be willing to give up things like vents, which helps a little bit on the mobility front right there. But give up things like vents and use a turbo just to get that nice boost. So we are over here at the castle. This can actually be a problem for slow tanks to get to. He was chogging along pretty good, and nobody really got up into the castle to challenge them coming across the field. You really want to get rid of this ELC, unfortunately, and I am saying unfortunately, they don't have arty. That's a horrible spot. I hate that spot on this map. I wish they would remove it, or at least flatten it out so people can't hide right there. It's just bad map design, because the other side doesn't really have anything to use. I suppose you could argue that Avalon's side has a better time with the trees right here. That's probably true. And we're going to hang out here for a while. Pretty quickly lose the T-77 in the middle, and it looks like GSOR is a little bit alone in there. Okay, there is one guy in there. Now the OHO's moving up, so. And 2 TDs sitting way back where they really can't help. Although there is quite a push. They are getting pushed a little bit. The purple team has pushed past the standard choke point and are now getting in the face of the 3 or so tanks that are in there. So that bears watching. I would imagine these guys are talking on comm, so they're probably discussing what's going on. Maybe they can also fill us in on why they split up. I suppose potentially because the Strv K has some strengths over here with hold down and doesn't have a fantastic hull. You can see G-Sor is backing out of that on a retreat. And maybe we have a bit of a flank going on as Avalon moves back over this way, but he doesn't seem to be charging hard. There is a lot of tanks in the middle there, so very easy, even if he gets in there and gets a shot or two, for 2 or 3 of them to turn around and delete him. So he's kind of peeking and poking and thinking about it. And they're in big trouble already. They're down 2,000 hit points per the count up there. Could be more. And they're down 2 to 4 tanks. The ELC even-90 gets peeled out of that corner. That should free up guys over here. And then, uh-oh, now we've got a Char Future. Just barely misses. Well, he wants to stand in and take another shot, or I'm not sure what was going on there. Little snap-a-lama ding-dang. The gun is pretty accurate. The soft stats aren't great, so a little bit of RNG to help us out with that shot. Another nice shot right there. 2 to 5 now, and I don't think G-Sor is long for this game. He's about to be riding along and watching Avalon play here, I would assume. Yep, there he goes. So he's down, and now Avalon's going to make a push over here. I talk about this quite a bit. Sometimes when you have a situation like this, instead of YOLOing into the middle and I need to help, clean up your side, get a push going on where you can get an advantage on these guys, clean up the flank, and then free yourself up to move around the rest of the map. Because if he bailed out of this flank with these guys still alive, I like the prioritization there. He knew the Char Fuder was reloading, so he went ahead and ensured the 34 died, although I don't think he got the kill. Excuse me. But he was making sure in case he didn't die, they were able to kill him. And then his buddy, was that a Barask? I think it was a Barask, killed off the Char Fuder. And now we've got him kind of all trapped in the middle. Tricky for the purple team to push onto the cap with a bunch of guys hanging out on the A row up there, and then the column, the 1 and 2 column over here. We'll see if guys start pushing through. Avalon's up to 2,000 damage, and the Barras just sort of gets himself out in the open and hit. Looks like the A Phase 1's done a pretty smart thing and moved back where he can get some good spotting. It's going to be hard to use this castle with him and maybe the IS-3 sitting right there spotting them every time they move. So Avalon's sort of creeping up here. It's only 5 to 7 though. The other Strv K takes a hit, just the old snap right there. Alright, peeking out. So, now what, no, he's not using food, so very interesting. He's just using the base accuracy, which is decent. We have a rammer, that's not helping. Grousers aren't helping, and the turbo's not helping. So he's just basically going with the base, plus any bonuses he can get out of his crew. And then this guy just says, you know what, I'm just going to push across because we're winning or something. Is he going to get another shot on him? The reload. Oh, please reload. Nice, 367. Well, that guy's just coming at him. He just wants to get up there and start lighting guys. And it's just the Barask and Avalon right here right now. He's really trying to get rid of this guy if he can before he gets up close. I don't know why the T-26E5 was not shooting you twice now. And if he maybe he did, he just missed. There's the other Strv K. More hit points. Nope, we don't quite get it. The defenders up on the A row are doing a pretty decent job. Boy, this is really interesting. You know, when you pull games back from the brink like this one, where the enemy team has a pretty good positional advantage. Really nice job going after the weak spot right there. A pretty good positional advantage is oftentimes the enemy team starts to believe their own press, and here they come, right? They're all just charging. And if you can get into a decent defensive position and farm them a bit, start knocking them down, then what you'll find is somebody will start to panic a little bit, and they'll make a bold move, and then you'll be taking more guys out of the game. And eventually, if you're able to solve all the little problems along the way, you can start to win the game. The A Phase 1. Again with the T-26E5. Why is he not? No idea. I feel like we should have been punished multiple times there, but isn't happening. 3,668 damage, 474. The Barask does not. He's crawling up on that thing. And now Avalon's trying to figure out how to get around him and get a shot without pushing him out into the shots there. Just takes the snap and does not want to expose himself for too long. Rocking back and forth, making it hard to be hit. But that dude's all the way back there. Very interesting. I feel like maybe he should have just... Are we going to zoom in on this guy? No, don't tell me that works. Okay. What is the E5 doing? Does he just not... What is happening here? We're not all down enough. No, he's just behind the building. I guess he's actually fighting these guys. Okay, that's probably what's happening. He's fighting the Super and the Char on the other side. He's not worried about trying to get around and shoot these guys in the back. I'm going to tell you something. If he has the ability to do that, that's what he should have been doing. Pretty much a misprioritization. Although he's on cap, isn't he? Is that what's happening? Yeah, I think he's on cap there. So here they come, and it looks like Avalon knows he's got to take someone out. That didn't work. T-27 comes in with an autoloader. Are we going to be able to survive one of his shells? No, he runs into the guy, gets stopped, and bounces. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh boy, got into the front hole. The AE phase 1, is this guy going to get one shot? Or not one shot, but cleaned up? No, a 397, and we are down to almost no hit points. 27 hit points. Is this the end for our hero? Nope, a little bounce right there. Kills that guy. The Skoda's on a reload. It has a relatively long reload. He bails out. He knows he doesn't want to take too many hits. He probably figures if he reloads, he's got this guy, no problem. And somehow, I don't know, somehow, very nice. Avalon survives. 4,125, 975 assists. Does the Skoda feel like he finally has him? Unknown why he doesn't push in. He should have just done it. He's probably very angry at the situation. Boy, that team really just had this. But they got into a crossfire, didn't they? They got into the middle, and two of the flanks were still held by the purples. They kind of got out into the open a couple times, and that really hurt them. Uses the dead Hulk to keep the shot off of him. Can he actually tank one shot? I think if the T-27 low rolls, I want to say it's a 240. I wouldn't want to count on that, but it is possible for him to survive a shot at 220. So I believe that's a 240 gun. And a win. Look at that. This is something you see a lot with good players, is you'll see the high damage count and relatively low kill count, because what they tend to do is prioritize getting shots down range and not worrying as much about killing things. Now, if you take a gun out, that's fine, but all else being equal, if I have to take a big risk to take a gun out, or I can just take a shot on somebody and reduce hit points with low risk, kind of mid-game area, you'll see just shots flying out from guys' guns at the skill level we're talking about there. And sometimes it's big kill counts as well, but where you'll see that is often at the end of the game where you're cleaning up near deads because you've maintained your votes. Avalon didn't have many votes at the end, so he was real defensive, but he was able to just keep pushing shots down range and hitting guys and adding to his HP total, hit point total right there, so damage total, I suppose. Hit points he took from them and turned into his damage, however you want to look at it. Really nicely done, man. There you go. A great example of Strv K gameplay. Certainly played to its strengths right there. A bit of muppetry on the enemy team, but you know what? That's what you're always counting on. If the enemy team was really, really good, then you'd have to be really, really gooder. That's all I've got. We will see ya.